Wait, Larksa wants to collaborate. She just asked me to collaborate. All right, Larksa, let's do it. What was that? That was the Maiden in Black. Yeah, all you have to do is click like one button and it knocks, right? It's pretty easy for it to happen.
Hey, baby. I just wanted to send a quick hello and I love you. Oh, good news.
We need a casual RE3 Inferno run. True.
I cannot wait to be done with this babysitting job.
Still says +1. Yeah, because I accepted your collaboration.
I gotta get back to work. I love you, Ethan. I miss you so much. I'm sending tons of kisses. Bye, baby.
Ethan. You were right. I did lie to you. I shouldn't have. All I can say is that if
Banned for collab stream, but not doing a collab. Yeah, am I gonna get banned for that?
Hello?
Hey, it's Ethan.
Oh, hey. You alright? You just disappeared the other night.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's Mia. She's not dead, she's alive. She's back.
They found her? How? What happened?
I don't know. Look, I don't know how, but she's back. She's back somehow. Maybe it's a prank, but she wants me to come and get her.
Where is she?
Dulvey, Louisiana.
Dude, it's been 3 years.
I know, but what if it is her? I have to find out what happened.
Yeah, this is my first playthrough. Welcome to the stream. I've actually never played a Resident Evil game before. Is this one good? Should I play RE6? When did... Oh. I didn't know I could do this. The Sewer Gators. Join us. I didn't know you could open this. Play Resident Evil 4, there's a cool randomizer. Yeah. No way. Make a ridiculously high sub goal for RE6 playthrough. Brilliant. I'm gonna take my time with this playthrough, you know, I'm not I'm not in a rush. I used to have the world record in this game, chat, on Madhouse difficulty. Sure? What do you mean?
Oh, very good. Very good indeed.
Oh, right. There is, there's like the drawer here. Do you have to watch the videotape? Wait, where do you even get the videotape from? I mean, I don't really want the coin that badly, but this is also a casual playthrough, so like, I mean, I've obviously speedran the game before. I know where to go. I'm just gonna to go for the Amok record. Yeah. What a great game. I can't remember though, where do you get the videotape? Can I not get it yet? Do you normally watch it? Oh no, you can actually go upstairs. Right. There it is. Streamer doesn't know how to casual, dude. The last time I did this videotape, I think was like when the game came out. That's probably not actually true, but
Boo,
Glow Run, yes.
where did you find this guy?
Give me a break, Pete.
Hey, I only work
Are you
with
guys gonna play
professionals.
Resident Evil 9 in first
Speaking of which,
person or third
Make sure
person?
the sound is right this time. I don't want a repeat of Amarillo.
That was 2 fucking years ago.
I don't do ADR. This new guy, I'm not feeling it.
Again?
Just don't be surprised if we have to make a change. New plan. We do a walkthrough of the inside first, then we shoot the intro.
Just like we always do.
This section is
Try
so
to say the show's name this
this
time, okay?
videotape is so
No
stupid.
problem.
This is how the
Nah,
game
that's
starts,
okay.
yes.
Another worthless fucking shit.
Sewer gators.
Ecstatic.
I understand the context now. Is there anything back here? I got it.
Are we rolling? All right, let's go.
Get out of the way.
Did I play the RE7 demo with the dummy finger? I don't know, actually. I don't think so. I wonder if I could, like, download that demo.
So, why are we in hell this time?
Do you ever prep?
What's the prep? Shitty house, spooky sounds? Ooh, is it haunted?
This was actually the very first Resident Evil game I played, chat. This was, like...
Fuck me.
I played this,
I was
I
an
don't
anchor,
know,
you know?
2 or
Weekend
3
sub,
years
Pete.
when I
Not
started...
anchor.
What's that?
Into when I started streaming.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What's the story, Andre?
I had
Abandoned
never
farmhouse,
played a
missing
Resident Evil
family,
game before
foul
this
play
game.
The usual.
How long did you say this place has been abandoned?
3 years.
Clancy, get a shot of this. Let's make a great cutaway.
Like, listen,
So,
when I...
Hillbilly Joe and his family go missing.
Not hillbillies, the Bakers. Jack and Marguerite Baker.
Yeah, Jack
They
and
were quiet,
Marguerite.
not backward. A lot of bad rumors about their son, Lucas. Bad seed, apparently.
Ah, shit! I know I should have worn my good shoes. Oh, shit. Glad I had my shots. Although, this would make a great backdrop. Andre, what do you think?
Yeah, like, the thing is, when I grew up, all the games that I got growing up
Andre! Andre!
were from my older brother,
Clancy, you see where Andre went?
and he never had any of the Resident Evil games. So, like, I
Where
never
is he?
really got into the
Fucking believable.
the series
the last time
until
I worked with that
RE7.
guy. I mean, producers, they come and go, but a good cameraman like you, Clancy, you stick with me. What the fuck was that? Did you hear that?
How old am I? I am 29. Soon to be 30.
Andre? Where the fuck is he? Andre, where are you, man?
Uncle. You can exit the video now if you wanted. Oh, can you actually? Oh, you can stop the video once you open that. Well, that's cool.
What the
I didn't
hell?
actually know that. That's pretty easy to get the coin. We'll finish this section just for the hell of it.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Oh my God, there's a secret here,
All right,
chat.
good deal.
We'll need to
We find
remember that.
Andre and we go. I mean, fuck this show. You first. Need a nice hero shot of me coming down the ladder. So, you first.
Okay.
Oh, majestic!
What do you see? What is it?
Well, he's dead.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, let's make sure to grab this coin. Although I guess we could have grabbed the coin later in the run when we go back through this area. Or I'm getting it right now. I'm not sure I actually know where all the coins are. I know where the ones early on are, so you can get the skeleton key. You think this is the scariest RE game? I don't really feel like any of the Resident Evil games are that scary, personally. But I've also played a lot of horror games, I guess. Doesn't really help. Oh, there isn't really many. You know what? You know what games are the scariest? Games where, like, games where it's permadeath, and you're hours into a run. That's scary. Yeah, I really like Visage. That's frustrating, not scary. Well, that's debatable. Like the anxiety that you feel is similar, or the like pressure, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm gonna specifically not do any of the speedrun tech. Going full casual. Not that there's much tech in this game, to be fair. Alan one skip. Maybe we'll do Alan skip.
Man.
Oops. You know, oh, what about this note? What is this note supposed to really... Who the hell is Harold, Arthur, Tamara, and Travis? L. Clancy. How far can you go here? Can you even go through this thing? Oh no. She like moves it out of the way. People that got kidnapped, yeah. But it says that they turned. Where are these people that turned?
Mia. Oh, thank God I
Are
found
they the
you.
mold people?
It's me. It's Ethan.
Ethan? Ethan?
Are you alright?
You shouldn't be here.
What do you mean? You contacted me.
No, I wouldn't. Did I?
Mia's hair looks like
Did
shit.
anyone see you? Did he see you?
Yeah.
Hey, who else is here? What the hell's going on?
Daddy's coming. We need to go.
Daddy?
We need to go now!
Yeah, they really stepped up their character models
taking
with
me?
like the newer remakes.
Someplace safe.
Are you gonna tell me what's going on? Baby, you've been gone 3 years.
3 years? Has it really been 3 years?
Welcome home, Ashen One.
Why no skin on woman? What the hell does that mean?
What is this place? What'd they do to you?
Not now. We need to get out of here first. I think it's this way.
There's barely any mods for RE7. Scariest thing about this game is my sub alerts. I tried turning down my sub alerts, but I feel like they're still way too loud.
Mia, we have to talk.
The game still looks
Message you
fantastic.
sent
Yeah, it doesn't look
Not
bad.
me. That wasn't me.
But you did.
Resident
I
Evil 8
didn't.
looks so nice, though.
Fine. Just tell me what's going on.
I'm telling you
And RE4
everything
remake.
that I know. We have to go this way.
Resident Evil 9 is gonna look crazy as well.
Mia, are you sure you know where you're going?
Family used to bring me food through here. I remember.
What are these supposed to be anyways? Like bags of... I guess they're just bags.
There. It's there. This is it. I remember this room. There's another door here. I'm sure of it. It's not here.
Are we getting all the
It's gone.
coins?
It's gone.
I don't know. I mean, we could try. I don't really remember where they all are.
Now that you're here. There's another door here. I'm sure of it.
The sensitivity on this shit is like insane.
Mia?
It's been a long time since I picked up this map as well. Why was that so delayed? What is Madhouse? Yeah, Madhouse is the difficulty.
Mia? Wait! Wait!
I can hear her. I can feel her clawing her way back inside of me. Get out! Leave me alone! I've been bad. I deserve this.
The fuck are you, Mia?
He's fine. Holy lag spike. Fuck Mia, wake up. Oh, there we go. Oh Jesus, I'm gonna die, dude. I didn't actually think I was gonna die, but. Well, get ready to get stabbed again, chat. Dying here really sucks. I shouldn't have done that strong attack. Dies to the first mob of the game. That's my wife. She's not a mob, okay, dude?
Wait! Wait!
Yeah, you can actually die on this part pretty easily. I didn't get like any multi-hits at all.
I can feel her clawing her way back inside of me. Get out! Leave me alone!
The thing is, I'm not speedrunning this, so I should probably just do one hit and then block.
What the fuck are you, Mia?
Hold on, let me see if I can turn down my alerts. I don't know why they're so fucking loud. Strange. Thank you for the 19 months, Lord Raven. Alright. Here we go. Do not fuck this up this time. Oh god. Oh god. No, don't kill me, Mia, please.
Shouldn't have come here.
Who's this? And what the fuck is going on?
My name's Zoe. There should be a way out through the attic.
Attic.
Go there. Now.
I wonder if there's anything you can interact. Can you go back outside, actually? No. What the hell is this picture? Picture of some grass. Oh, they have two of the same picture. Our flashlight is so bright. Alright, I'm just looking at all the pictures. They have 3 of this picture, dude. I haven't seen this one yet. Admiring some art. Yes, this is the speedrun strat. I'm not stalling. I'm just chilling, man.
Ethan, it's okay. It's okay, it's me. I know you didn't mean to hurt me. You shouldn't have done that! It fucking hurts!
Yeah, for some reason, the Japanese version of this game changes this into like a garden it's like a different tool. It's like a fork.
It's my job. Must contain.
The trowel? Oh, maybe that's what it is, yeah.
I promise. Must burn it all down.
Can't show sharp stabbings. It's so weird. Doesn't the game... It doesn't really matter anyways. Doesn't the game give you a checkpoint here? Or how far back do you go if you die here? I can't remember. I guess we could use it in case we die to Mia. Although I should go loot stuff first.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, there's a few scripted checkpoints in Madhouse. It's weird, for sure. Going for a specific grade. Oh shit. That was a juicy hit.
They're relying on me. Everyone is relying on me. Everyone!
I forgot. Well, I killed all the mannequins, so I couldn't really do the... I couldn't do the Mia kick. The Mia launch.
Welcome to the family, son.
Will you cure Mia or Zoe? Funny enough, on my first playthrough, I chose Zoe, and the devs clearly did not want you to choose Zoe. Because it's like... The game just punishes you if you make that choice.
Come on. Don't you die on us now. You have work to do.
Where am I? What the hell?
Rise and shine, sleepyhead. It's time for supper.
Who are all you people? Where's Mia?
Eat it. It's good.
Dumb son bitch wasn't no good if it hit him.
Yes.
Not again.
Get out the way, Marguerite. Hit boy's got to eat. He got to have his supper. Come here, boy. Let's do this.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, he's not eating it, Jack! He's not eating it!
Get the hell up, Marguerite!
I made that for him!
Get the hell out of here!
You're a son of a bitch! Oh, I can't believe it, you son of a bitch! He's not eating it! He's not eating it!
This was supposed to be a very special feast. My boy.
God damn it. I bet it's that cop again.
Goddamn pigs. I'm coming back for you.
Salad. $586. 20 pet collars. It's a lot of collars. There's actually ammo in here. State authorities are asking for help locating 3 men who went missing during their travels to Dulvey Parish from New Orleans on the 9th of this month. The missing men have been identified as Peter Walken, Andre Sticklin, and Clancy Javis. The 3 produced videos for the internet and traveled to Dulvey to shoot footage for their latest production. Their video consists mostly of the group exploring abandoned buildings and haunted houses. Rip those guys. It's the guys from the start of the game chat. The Unveiled Abyss. You know, you think this is a real book? Yeah, I don't remember this game at all. You know, I only speedran it hundreds of times. No, I'm just taking my time. I just, you know, normally I just rush through the game so quickly. There's a boot here. Evelyn. Just gonna grab these right now. All right, here we go.
Don't you just slip out.
Oh! Get fucked. Oh. Oh shit. Sorry.
Are you having fun yet? Came to the wrong house, boy. Boy.
Oh shit. Oh! Please don't cut off my... No!
All right. Have fun under there, boy. I'm gonna come back for you later.
I got so lucky there. I always forget I need to set up the inventory to like where the key is ahead of time. And then if you do the quick turn there, well, I mean, you know, but if you can like avoid him. Normally he'll teleport behind you there, chat, and he'll like cut your leg off. But if you quick turn, you can dodge it. It's weird. No phone skip. It's because I have ray tracing on. Go back for coin. Wait, is there a coin down here? What do you mean? Lawnmower? Huh? There's no coin down here. There? You're thinking easy difficulty? Okay, yeah. Classic. Can he chase you under the floorboards? I don't believe so.
You did good, Ethan.
Zoe, right? And what the fuck are they?
Shut up and listen if you want to stay alive. You gotta get out of that house. There might be a way out through the main hall.
All right.
Oh, and that thing on your wrist is a codex. Don't lose it. It's important.
Hell of a girl.
Salad. Normally you use this on this to get the strong chem fluid. And then we'll, isn't that supposed to... Did I not do this right? I'm confused. Why is the cop not spawning? Do you need to pick up the key before you touch the door? Ghost. I deserve more than 5th place.
Hey, you!
Well, thank you.
Hey! Oh.
Hey, you gotta help me.
Hold on, back up. Now, sir, do you live here? I mean, is this your property?
What? Me? No. No.
All right. Now, we got several calls about some missing persons lately.
You don't understand. I gotta get out of here.
Thank you for the 40 months, Hunk.
Calm down.
Dragon, thank
You're
you
not
for the
listening to
111
me.
months.
There are crazy people in this house trying to fucking kill me.
Well, all right. Let me tell you this. You don't exactly seem like you playing with a full deck yourself, all right?
Are you kidding me?
Look, like I said, we've had several missing persons calls. And I can't rule out that an outsider like yourself may not be involved.
All right. I'll tell you whatever you want.
All right. Now, that's more like it. Now, meet me in the garage. We'll talk there.
Hey, wait. You gotta give me your gun.
You must have lost your mind.
Look, officer.
Deputy.
Right. Deputy. Now, do you want to see my name in the obituaries? Or do you want to be a hero and save my life? A fucking pocket knife?
Here. Take it. That's all you're gonna get. Now go. Garage. Now.
What am I gonna do with a knife?
All right.
Hey, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Now first you need to tell me what you're doing out here alone.
Is
in
it
the middle of
limited
the night.
saves? Yeah.
Me? What about you?
No, it's my job. Won't you do your job?
But I mean, you can
Tell
still
me.
make
Answer my
saves.
questions.
You're not gonna
You just
believe
don't want to
what I
like
told
spam them.
Try me. Hey, put that door back. Put that door back up. Put that
Fuck it! I'm gonna kill everyone.
Oh, fuck. This might not be good. What the?
Oh no! I'm trying. Better stop running.
This is going a little off script. Guys.
Oh boy! Now look what you've done, motherfucker!
How did he fucking get me? What the? Actually, I think it's... Yeah, that's the speedrun strat right there, guys. I swear, don't you only... You just, like, knife him, and then you shoot him in the head, like... Well, actually, I don't know what the current speedrun strat is, but when I used to run the game, you just knife him and then shoot him in the head 3 times, I think. Or maybe it's more than that. Is it really 7? Dude, what the hell? Hello? Wait, am I doing something wrong? Why did that?
Do I have your attention?
I guess I was
boy?
too close to the
You're
ladder.
about to see some wonderful. Oh,
Fuck!
Yeah, maybe that's what it was, Salad. I don't know. I feel like it's always... Yeah, maybe I wasn't looking high enough. Oops. Do I make a save here? I think I kind of want to, because I might die. Why do I play this right now? Because I just feel like it. Alright, so we're gonna use our keys, chat, or our coins, rather, buy this skeleton key. So this is, or scorpion key. You can only do this...
where's my little Ethan?
Oh, shit. Oh, that's not good. Oh, fuck. Oh god, don't hit me. You can only buy these items when you're on Madhouse difficulty. I don't remember what the strat is for these guys, for this molded. Oops. My gosh.
It won't be long before I find you and kill you.
Can you spawn it? And then go over here? I mean, it worked. Not, fast, but it did work. That's actually nice. I mean, that's good for like marathons. I think there's a line if you run like a specific way, you can just get past the crawler though. Dear Courtney, these bastards are looking for me, but maybe this gives you a chance to escape. To escape, you have to find the reliefs shaped like dog heads. I saw one of the heads in the dissection room underground. Get it? It's the key out of here. Something's wrong with me. It must be that shit they made me eat. If I'm gonna die, I'd like to at least go out fighting. I'm gonna get a hold of that shotgun I saw in the rec room and make them regret what they did to me. Need to get out of here. I love you, Courtney. Love, Travis. We won't have the shotgun for this fight. I would like to learn the new route, Salad, honestly. It seems cool. Yeah, I mean, if I'm not busy at the time, I'll definitely watch the GDQ run, for sure. I remember, how do you... I guess you never... Oh, fuck. I haven't seen the new route exactly, no. I can't remember which ones you actually have to do here. Is there anything in these other ones? Or in here? Lucas, I caught the guy who keeps trying to escape. I blocked him up in the leftmost incinerator so he can't get away again. Take him out when he's ready. You know how to open the door, don't you? Just remember 3 A's and a handprint. Do what you want with this girl. Yeah, so the blood on the screen is because I'm damaged. Oh, please don't cheap shot me, please. Thank you. We want... Shit. We don't want the car key, and... Wait, what the hell do we need it on here? The section room key. Need this ready ahead of time. Please don't hit me. Okay.
I was gonna be a father. Now she says he will be her father. No. I will find him, and I will make him suffer. And you, my friend, will help me.
I can't remember. Did this model shotgun? You actually need to grab that. There's another chem fluid in here. Alright, we'll have 2 heals. Okay. So, when we start this fight, we just want to shoot him in the face a bunch. Oh, this fight is... Dude, I'm so bad at this fight. I almost feel like maybe I should make another save file so I can just run down here and not have to do all that again. That'll be fine.
getting away.
Fuck, man. Chill. Wait, I'm not gonna be able to hold the... Oh, fuck me, dude. And the chainsaw got turned off? Oh, Jesus. God, this is not good. That I didn't... Oh.
You go get it now.
Oh, I'm dead.
Die here.
Oh, let's try this again. Shall we? This actually isn't that far away. Is that not? Wait. Now I'm confused. Whoa. Oh, is it just those two? Oh shit. Oh no, no, that's not good. Please don't eat me. I shouldn't grab this model shotgun until I'm leaving, to be honest. I'm just like fucking myself over. We have 3 first aids right now. Wait, I think... no, okay. I have space. Okay, here we go.
Ain't getting away.
What the fuck, bro? Why? Oh, man, am I not like hitting him fast enough? What? Oh my god. Oh.
That is not moving.
Wait, I thought. Oh, alright, I have the medallion now. Oh, am I shooting him too fast? He killed me! Am I crouching too early? Or can... Man, I don't know. Can some attacks just not be crouched? I don't know if I'm crouching too early or if it just depends on the attack. I'm crouching too early, okay. It is pretty It is pretty early, to be fair. Can I fucking get through, please? This boss run back, it's really not that bad. This is like one of the hardest fights in the run, chat. At least to get the one cycle on. Oh, why did I do this? I feel like March 2 isn't... Also, let's not grab the shotgun this time. March 2 isn't that bad with a bit of practice. Like, it's actually consistent now, isn't it?
Make him suffer. And you, my friend, will help me.
Hey, Tiki, thank you for the 38 months. Alright, here we go. We got it this time, guys. Surely.
You ain't getting away.
You mother... Why are you, like, running at... Oh, that was shit. Oh, come on, man. Okay, just...
You look worried, boy.
Yeah, I am fucking worried, man. I can't even attack him, dude! What is fucking Oh, God damn it. You go get it. I'm scared of crouching too early now. Fuck, man. Okay, guys, this is the one. This is the one. This is definitely the one. Please don't hit me. Nah, I'm feeling good about this one, Salad. Oh, come on, man. What the? Oh my, I'm fucked. Oh. Brother. The fuck, man. Alright, well, there goes my heels. Yeah, honestly, it would be fun to relearn the madhouse route. It wouldn't take too long, I imagine. All right. Dude, you fucking piece of shit, man. Oh. Dude. I am having such a good time right now. I have no heals left. I'm gonna die, dude. He's not gonna die.
That's it!
Why's that gotta be instant, man? Is he hitting? Dude, I don't know what's happening. How am I not dead? Like, we should be dead right now. Was he hitting the... You can basically block all incoming damage with the chainsaw. I see. If you're revving it, does it just always block? Because, I mean, I remember how to do the... I don't have any heals,
Do me a
man.
favor and stay dead.
This is, like, really bad, still. Oh, this is so tragic. I mean, I don't have any heals. I almost... I don't know, maybe it'll be okay. I'm not sure if there's any... What the fuck is that? I don't want to. Any chem fluids around here? Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna put the dog head. Yeah, there is one chem fluid. Is there a chem fluid in here? Oh, maybe not. Guess it's not in here. I think it's in the What? There... Am I crazy? I could have sworn there's a chem fluid here, dude. I guess I don't have space now anyways. Oh wait, I still have the car key. Is there really not a chem fluid here? Alright, hold on. I have to be right back. Slowest speedrun ever. What if I told you I'm not speedrunning? Move that piece of shit hippie we caught from the hall to the processing area. I could have sworn there was a chem fluid in one of the little garbage things. I think there's bullets in here. But yeah, I don't need this. Female 50s meaty saute. Portly barbecue. Lean gumbo. I need to grab the broken shotgun. I don't think there's much of a point in getting the other shotgun, is there? I mean, I guess we could do it, just for the hell of it. Does it? Maybe it comes with ammo. Yeah, double barrel is good. Give me a backpack. You can't get a backpack until you get to the old house, right? Oh my god. Yeah, I have too much shit. Well, you know, casually. Obviously in the speedrun, I'm sure you probably get backpacks earlier. Dude, I need a frickin' chem fluid. I have way too much ammo as well. What am I doing? Saved Madhouse and ruined it at the same time. Are the out of bounds like really hard to do or what? No, it doesn't. Just unforgiving. I see. Yeah, like if you adjust your height too much in a specific way. Okay, well, grabbing that shotgun was pointless. That's okay, though. Damn, they stopped calling. Read the newspaper article. What newspaper article? This one? Captain Howell from State Police told reporters they have started a search for Helen Midkiff, college student from North Carolina who is traveling in Louisiana. Miss Midkiff hasn't been heard of since the night of the 21st. Reports of missing persons in South Louisiana have increased dramatically in the past 2 years. The majority of those missing are tourists and vagrants. At least 20 people are thought to have gone missing so far. Police suspect foul play and believe there may be a connection between the incidents. Plans are in place to step up local interrogations and increase personnel to further the investigations. Alyssa Ashcroft. My god, it's Alyssa. This is my favorite RE. I don't know, actually.
You made it. You're the first I've ever seen make it this far.
So what is it you need me to do? Is it gonna help me get out of here?
Yes. Now listen carefully, Ethan. My family and our bodies are contaminated. I can't leave the property unless I get it out. And the same goes for Mia.
I do really like RE4 Remake.
We need the serum. It should clear whatever this stuff is out of the body. As long as you're not too far gone.
All right. So where is it?
If I knew where one was, I'd already be long gone. But I have a feeling my mother has hidden some inside the old house somewhere.
So if we get this thing, I can help Mia and we can get out of here?
Right. And so can I. The old house is near the water. You can't miss it.
All right.
I just hope you can handle my mother.
Your mother?
Be careful. They'll be looking for you.
Honestly, you got... It probably should have been done that way from the start, Zeke. But that's good. That honestly makes so much more sense. Just count however much time it saves. All right. Yeah, I'm on max graphics. Isn't there a coin? No, maybe it's a statue, and I keep getting it mixed up. I could have sworn there's like a coin here, though.
Ethan!
No more bullshit, Mia. I want some answers.
I know, you're right, and I always wanted to tell you, but I can only remember a little, and the rest is just gone.
Daddy, right? You mind if I borrow Mommy for a little bit? Why don't you stand there? Do something!
Ethan, help!
Damn it.
Damn it. Do what? Figure out how to get through the entire house, of course.
Stay the fuck out! Good! Watch this, you troublesome shit! Fucking shit hop! Show yourself! I told you to get out! It's time!
I don't know why I went out this way.
Yes, my kitties!
Alright, I'm gonna grab this backpack. You normally wouldn't get this in the speedrun, but we are not speedrunning. Technically we do. Oh yeah, you guys like go through this pathway out of bounds or something. Yeah, I'll definitely have to see how what the new route looks like. Yeah, having the backspace must be pretty nice. I mean, technically I should use the separating agent on this, because then I can make 2 out of 1. massive. Do I have an herb? I mean, I really don't think I need to do this, but I will grab an herb. I could. Oh wait, there was an herb right there. For fuck's sakes. I haven't used the flamethrower. I mean, it's definitely not necessary. I wonder how good the flamethrower is on Jack 3. Probably not that good, considering you need to hit his weak points. Hey, Solace, thank you for the 21 months.
Fuck!
He's gonna play Night Rain. What? What you talking about? Isn't there I could have sworn, isn't there an actual item down here? Something. Or from the crank? Maybe not. Chatter from the past. Alright, this part coming up can be a little sus. We do have space though, I think. Please do not interrupt me. Do I need gunpowder? What do you mean? Did I not do enough? Oh my god. What was I trying to do? I was trying to shoot the cabinet open with my flame round so I could get the enhanced one. Dude, what the? Time to reset. Oh, we're probably gonna die, dude. What the fuck is hitting? Oh my. I think I'm fucked now, guys. Maybe I should go for the flamethrower. Just for fun. Just so Marge 2 isn't an absolute... You know what? I'm gonna reload. Just so Marge 2 isn't an absolute shit show. I'm gonna reload. We're not that far away. Casual? Yeah, dude, we're just chilling, man. I'm not going for world record right now or anything. Zipping is in this game? Wait, really? Casual resets? Yeah, I mean...
Fuck!
No, whatever, man. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm tired of fucking justifying everything. Oh yeah, I do remember that, Zeke. Dude, too many games have zips these days. Oh shit, I didn't want to pick up that shotgun ammo. What was the first RE I played? This one. How much time do the zips save anyways? It won't work on your PC for some reason. It's so weird. Like 1 minute minimum. Oh wow.
Alright, you piece of shit! I've had about enough of you! Try and get away from my babies, you cocksucker! I told you to get out! It's mine!
I don't have inventory, man. I should have just dropped my knife. Honestly, we don't really need the knife, do we? Maybe I'll just throw away the coin. We don't really need the coin, actually. How the hell... You just drag... Dude, the inventory in this game... Okay. Never mind, I remember. This is the Don't Tell and Rhodey game. Yes, this... yes, that is correct. I kind of want to just use the heal. This inventory is kind of driving me crazy, chat. Probably because I have a flamethrower in my inventory.
I told you to stay out of here!
And loot everything in the area, I know, right? Okay, well I don't even have the right ammo
All right,
type.
you little cocksucker! Let's get down to business!
Is she,
think you can waltz in here and
is she
have your way
blocking me with the... These fucking bugs. I'm gonna fucking die. What am I doing? We're fine. I'm just using up all the shotgun ammo to make space. All carefully calculated moves here. My ears have been ringing all day and I haven't been able to sleep since the child showed up. It's like Zoe says, there's something strange about the child and the woman she brought with her. I'm seeing things, hearing things, can't stop feeling nauseous. Went to see the doctor in town and he gave me an x-ray. What's happening to me? Child gave me a present. I put the present in the secret room right at the back of the second floor where nobody will find it. That arm is a sign of the child's trust. That arm will lead us to happiness. Anyone who corrupts that happiness, I won't allow them to live. Yeah, I guess this is how you learn about the... you kind of learn ahead of time about the arm. Oh, there's a coin in there. My inventory is completely jammed full again. How does this work anyways? The skip that you can do here always confused me. I never really understood how it worked. Like why you have to look at the ceiling. I don't think I'm doing this right. Am I confused? Oh, I need to look at the note. You know, I was thinking... I remember there being a phone call here.
I just got done dealing with your mom and her fucking bugs. Wish you could have warned me.
Disc already lost. No.
What about the serum?
I haven't found any. But I
I'm
did
just
find out
very
we need to
rusty.
make one. A D-series head and an arm. This can't be right.
A head? I think I have that around here somewhere.
You do?
I don't know about the arm, though. Have you searched the whole house?
No, not yet. I still need to check the second floor here.
All right. Check it out. Meet me at the trailer if you find it.
Look at her go.
What the fuck? Well, that's special.
Shit, actually, I don't want to go down yet. Sorry, Marge. I'm gonna go loot up a little bit. Honestly, with the flamethrower, this... I mean, I don't know. We could try to do Marge without the flamethrower. The flamethrower will definitely make it easier. It's such a... If you don't do the fight like super efficiently with just what you get in the speedrun, well, at least with what you used to get in the speedrun, what I'm used to, it's kind of rough. What the fuck? I'm gonna put the knife away. Oh man, I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to loot this drawer. Oh yeah, yeah. In the speedrun, you don't use the flamethrower. I just thought I would grab it for the hell of it. Normally, I would never, like, grab this thing. But since we're not speedrunning, we might as well. It would be fun to relearn the record, or the most current route. Do I have loot for anything? Not really. Have a good night, Sylves. Do you need the crow key anymore? I don't think so. I think I could put the crow key away. Is this PB? Yeah, man, we're making great pace here. We definitely want these shotgun shells, though. 100%. And we're gonna make a save, because I don't want to get sent a mile back. Hey, Garf, thank you for the sub. There is some stuff in that crow key room. Where... Wait, where is the crow key room? Or which one are you talking about? Okay, where the shadow puzzle is? I see. I mean, we could go there after Marge. Or I could just go there. Yeah, it's probably better just to do it after Marge. I mean, I don't really need to go there, but we could. Wait, what toilet is this? All right, let's just go beat her ass. We got this.
Gonna get.
Oh, there she goes. That was not not really a script or anything, but time to burn her. Holy shit, that did a lot of damage. Get back here. Where the hell did she go? I don't hear her anywhere, man. Marge, where the fuck are you? Is she hiding in like some... Wait, I hear her. Where the fuck is she? Damn, don't you run away again, god damn it. Dude, this flamethrower sucks. Come on. Burn. She dead? No? What the fuck's she doing? This is the longest fucking fight ever, dude. Ordering pizza? I could go for some pizza. Marge? Bitch, where are you? This is so awful. There you are. Oh, hey, you broke the box for me. Thank you. He's dead.
Just fucking stay dead, okay?
Fucking burner fuel and everything because I picked this thing up. I don't know, I've got too much shit. Do I need enhanced ammo? Do I need cassette tapes even? I can't even throw cassette tapes away. I don't know, this flamethrower is just kind of scuffing everything up. We don't really need a chem fluid either. Dude, what the fuck do I throw away? I feel like I need everything. Well, I don't need the flamethrower, but I can't... I can't throw the cassettes away. I shouldn't have picked them up before. I don't think I need anything else. We just need to make sure to have the flame rounds. And even then, it really doesn't matter because we have the flamethrower. This is intense. Intense inventory management. Alright, I'm gonna put the flamethrower away. Honestly, just stashing the nade launcher... I guess you couldn't... If I was to do that section again, I could just stash the nade launcher. Like, if I was to do it casually. If I wanted to grab the flamethrower, you could just stash the nade launcher instead. And you'd be fine. Why keep the coin? Let's see. We could technically buy some steroids. Maybe I want some steroids, man. Oh. Hold on. And put that away. I'm gonna go check the room over here. I really shouldn't have picked up that coin. Although you can throw them away, right? Yeah, we don't need the coin. Damn, there's double rounds in here. So I wonder if you grab these. I wonder if you grab these rounds in the speed run. You grab them out of bounds. I see. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Something under the shelf. If you have the photo, which I do not have. All right, back to the old house. I wonder how much actual health the steroids give you. What am I playing RE7 again for? I don't know, man. I just felt like playing RE7. It's not really any reason past that. 100. What's your max health? Like how big of an increase is that? I know I used to look at the player health values. 1,000, okay, so it's 10%. 250 increase, oh. We've got differing numbers. Could be very wrong. Yeah. Ballad is a liar, dang. I can't believe he'd do this.
Stay away.
This fucking picture.
Oh, God. I guess this is it.
Shit. Is this guy gonna hit me in the butt? Take your bets. Don't hit me in the butt. Thank you.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I got it. Are we really gonna be able to make serum with this thing?
It'll be fine. After we make it, we can get out of here. Together. I'll be waiting for you in the trailer.
All right.
Other phone call. You don't have to listen to these last
Where
two
the hell
phone
are
calls,
you?
but
You know, never
why
mind.
not?
We only need the head, and you've got it. This is gonna help me and me, right?
Hey, buddy. I thought you should know. I decided that Zoe needed a timeout. She and Mia are here with me. And they're keeping each other company.
Just let them both go. What do you need them for?
Nuh-uh. That's family business, Ethan, and not your concern. Understand? Now, if you want the head, feel free to come by any time and I'll give it to you. But only if you participate in a little activity I've put together just for you.
What activity?
Oh, I know you're excited, but don't worry. It's not going anywhere. First step I need you to take, partner, is for you to take a peek inside the fridge in the trailer there.
Fuck you.
Oh, come on now. Don't be like that. You want to have some fun, don't you? Now, look in the fridge.
The pig is waiting for you in the dissection room, bitch. My body's feeling weirder and weirder. Soon I'll become like mom and dad. It's all her fault. Should I run? No, I can't. I'm dead if she finds out. That woman she was with, Mia, she knows something. If I had the serum, I could cure myself. I have to find out more. Too late for them. The poor bakers. I wonder how good this Magnum is. Not that there's much combat in this game you even need to do anyways. Oh. I don't need the arm anymore, right? I think I just need it when I make the vaccine or whatever. Normally you're supposed to use a separating agent on this first aid, but I think we're okay to not do that. I don't know. Also, isn't there there's some kind of like puzzle in the corner here, right? What do you need for this? Some sort of statue, I think. Oh, it's the axe. I see. Man, I hope RE9 has some cool sections like RE7. I'm sure it's gonna be great. Like, man, imagine, dude, if RE7 just, if the ship section wasn't as shit as it is, RE7 would be like easily my favorite game, I think. Like, genuinely, the ship section really does. Also, I should have made a save here instead. I guess I still could, but... You like the ship? I mean, I don't hate it, but it's definitely not as good as the other parts of the game. Favorite of all time? No, I said I said it would be my favorite Resident Evil game. Hey, Skull Crusher, thank you for the 13 months. Benj, Edge, thank you guys for the resubs. I said my favorite game? Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. I played like all the mainline Resident Evil games, except for Resident Evil 6. I have never played Resident Evil 6. Oh, that's where the treasure photo is. Aha. Holy shit. What is here? Ooh, more steroids. Oh yeah. I wonder if steroids heal you, or if it's just increases your max health. Oh, it is a full heal? Hmm. Dang. Well, I should have waited. Oh well. Where am I going? Let me go upstairs. Oh, Jesus. We have so many enhanced rounds because we use the flamethrower. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's fine. If I go in here, I can grab the backpack. We'll just do this room first. Oh, right, I could throw away the photo. I got a vacuum in here. ETVs, laundry detergent. I played the game in VR. No. Anything I can grab in here? And thank goodness for the backpacks in this game, though. Mommy took me to the hospital in town. They took a photo of my head with the weird machine. Then Mommy bought me a 259-piece puzzle from the toy store. Stupid Oliver keeps teasing me, you're a crazy head. I lied to Oliver. I told him to come over for my birthday party, then shut him in the attic from outside by remote control. He kept crying, let me out, Lucas. Change the remote control so stupid Zoe can't just go into the attic. I melded it with one of my Inventor's Contest trophies. Now she'll never find it. Oliver stopped his yelling, but sometimes I hear knocking from above. It really stinks and some weird juice is dripping from the ceiling. Anyway, since I had time, I changed the remote control trophy again. Now it'll be shiny even at night. I thought there was a green herb somewhere around here. Yeah, shotgun shells in the kids' room. I mean, we are in Louisiana. Oh, hey, Boa Bear, thank you for the Prime sub. Yeah, this is the main game.
Oh my God.
We have so much ammo at this point. This is just so overkill. That was kind of scary.
Hey, buddy. Remember, those 2 key cards will get you into the party. Don't be late now.
Let me talk to Mia.
No, no, no! You gotta show up first! You haven't forgotten where the party is, have you? You can get in from the courtyard. So come on, man! Everybody's waiting for you!
Holy shit, I thought he was dead. That wasn't very good. I wonder how much that actually improves your reload speed by. Or anything else I want? Don't think so. I don't think I need to make a save here. That being said, I'm still going to. You have to go to bed now. Oh no, sad. Maybe I should call it a night here as well. I am actually pretty tired though, and I do want to get some dinner. I was thinking of either stopping here or after the Lucas section, but maybe we'll just do it here. Yeah, no, I started my stream like really late today, and yeah, I want to go get some dinner, and I'm feeling kind of tired. I'm feel like my focus level is a little low. What's for dinner? I don't know. That would made me sleepy and killed the stream. No. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun replaying RE7. So yeah, tomorrow we will we'll continue with RE7 chat, and we'll also do whenever we beat the main game, we'll do the DLC. There's a few different DLCs for RE7. I don't know if we'll do the Gamba one or not. We probably will. We'll see. Yeah, sorry, I'm yawning like nonstop. I am tired.